Hello, my tribe of pickles. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food. And today, I just wanted to talk about how much fun are you to live with? Really. Your kids, your significant other. Maybe it's a roommate situation. Maybe you're living with your parents. How much fun are you to live with? Do you just, take care of your food issues, take care of your own food? That's a wrap. Put it in your tracker, plan it, eat it, shop for it, no big deal? Or do you become the PIA in the family, making sure that everybody knows that every bite they take is something that is not good for them because now you've become the expert? You know what I'm talking about. So, or also moody because you can't have the num-nums that they're having. Now, somebody I know has a num-num every single night, and she's gained like 30 to 40 pounds in the last couple of years. And because she has it every single night, and she's not cutting back on it, and she's getting older. And if she's not menopausal, she definitely, or postmenopausal, she's on her way, and that is really God's sense of humor for women. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to make your metabolism slow down to nothing. I'm going to make every time you eat something, you gain all this weight. It's kind of an uncomfortable place to be. So, if you're miserable and cranky because of the food that you're eating, that's one thing. And I always say add more fats. Figure out what you're having. If you're having a lot of processed foods, which would be breads and pastas and boxed things and anything that like has a whole bunch of chemicals after it, and even like a Yoplait yogurt, any of those sort of things that are so highly processed, it's not even what it's supposed to be intended to be. You would be crabby, and your body would be craving more. But if you're eating a healthy and wholesome food, that's, it's a whole different thing than eating natural food. Natural food is like, it's kind of like a phony word. The government or marketers can use it. And I was just starting to read an article where if there's like something like a barn on it, or they show a pasture with chickens, it flies out the door because people are thinking, yeah, it came from this cute little red barn with these 4 chickens and that fence, and this, crusty farmer, did it just for me, and there's nothing harmful in it at all. He doesn't spray any Monsanto pesticides on his food. Yeah, really? Not thinking that at all. So anyway, I digress. I always say in wholesome food, when you say wholesome food, well, if you're new to this whole way of eating, you're going to go, well, I don't even know what that means. It means shopping the parameters of the food market, but it also means that you have to be quite savvy at reading labels. I picked up a package of hamburger yesterday, or last week. I looked at it. I didn't pick it up and buy it. And it said beef and natural flavorings, which means they added chemicals to it to make it taste more beefy. That's not the beef that I want to buy. So you have to be extra careful, because shopping the outside of the grocery store is not necessarily as healthy as we used to say it was. I know I use the oil aisle for my either my Teddy peanut butter, or I buy organic peanut butter at BJ's. And my other nut butters I usually get from Amazon, like almond butter, cashew butter, and then I've got a swirl of cashew butter and almond butter. Oh yeah, that's really delicious. Low in sugar too. And then the oils, the coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, and the Kerrygold butter and avocados. And those are the things that when I talk about wholesome foods, and I don't really use that word a lot because it really is like, well, what do you mean by that? What I mean are the good foods with the one ingredient, minimally processed. Ooh, I said that word and it's not even 3 in the morning. Pretty good, huh? That's usually the one that trips me up. Maybe the brain octane is working. And so that's what when you hear people say, or you hear me say, eating wholesome foods, that's what I mean. You have a salad and you make your own dressing. You don't buy the dressing that has this long of the ingredients in it. You buy your oil, you buy a nice vinegar, and I know that there's real fancy shops where you can get the fancy stuff. I just use a tablespoon of olive oil or avocado oil on my dressing. I'm not a fancy dressing person. I like the taste of vegetables. And then I add, a tablespoon of feta cheese or a tablespoon of blue cheese just to liven it up a little bit. And my ever-present cauliflower crumbles that I add to my cold salad. And then the cauliflower from Trader Joe's, the organic frozen one, I add to my warmed up veggie dishes. And so the wholesome foods are, a small portion of animal protein, like beef or pork. I'm not a huge chicken fan, but I do it every now and then just to change things up. But and I also like meatless nights. Those are kind of lovely too. And I could be happy with a bowl of vegetables. So anyway, how much fun are you to live with? Taking on your food program like it is a death sentence, and you're going to make everybody around you miserable because you feel miserable. And they're just going ahead and having their white bread sandwiches with their Doritos chips and their diet soda because they don't want to gain weight, of course, which is worse than having the soda with the sugar in it, and all of that sort of stuff that you're learning from reading articles, listening to podcasts like this. And so, lighten it up. If you're not getting proper nutrients, it could show up in your mood. You might lose the weight, but how much fun are you to be around? You're going to be the skinniest, lonely person in town. So, make sure you get enough healthy fats. Make sure that you're satiated. Make sure that you cover your bases with each meal. If you're one of those that has breakfast and then you just want to just be at the trough the rest of the day, maybe putting off breakfast as long as you can. Some people do that. I kind of don't have any. I have my bulletproof coffee. It's now 2:45 a.m. and I'll have my bulletproof coffee, and then I'll bring a little leftover bulletproof coffee to work with me. So I'll have that around 8-ish, and then between 10 and 12, I'll have my lunch, which today is leftover fathead pizza and 2 ounces of berries. Doesn't get better than that. And then after lunch, I will have a cup of my coconut milk with a tablespoon of peanut butter and a half a tablespoon of Zyla with coffee. That's another NutriBullet blended drink that I bring to work. So it's another type of latte. And I will have that after lunch. And that carries me. I'm thinking, I think that the peanut butter helps a little bit, the fat in the latte. And today it will be the fat in the cheese. Carry me through till 5 when I have my next meal. And so, it's knowing if you're automatically hungry after you eat dinner, that I'm just suggesting that it could be more of a habit than it is a need for more food. And I know a lot of people treat that after dinner fest or feast as very sacred and very untouchable. And I've seen lots and lots of podcasts where people save their points for after dinner. So they get to the end of dinner and they may have 33 points of smart points and they've had 20 points the whole day. And then they have 13 points with snacks after dinner. And it's like, that's got to be a habit. If it works for them and they still lose, I guess that's okay. I know it wouldn't for me being older. Plus, it keeps that habit going. And I think eventually that habit's going to turn on you. I just do, like my friend that has the ice cream every single night and has put on all that weight. And it sets up cravings. So when she comes into work in the morning, she's got 2 donuts from Dunkin' Donuts to start her day. at noon. That's not a kickoff. That's not, and she knows what I eat. She works in the same office as me. Not even just the same company, but the same office. So she sees my food choices and I see hers, and she's not really unapologetic about it, but it's kind of like it's her treat. And if I want to have a croissant sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts, or I want to have 2 honey dip donuts, I'm going to have them. And it's like, okay, did you have your ice cream last night? And I'm not making fun of her so much as, it's like while you're eating your donut, you're telling me how you want to lose weight, how you've got to stop eating ice cream every single night. And you know what happens, or at least it did for me. It just became such an addiction, I had to get it out of the house. I would buy those 2 Friendlies on sale, and I would have all the frozen M&Ms and the... Oh, I heard something the other day. You know why they make the M&Ms all the different colors? Because in our head, it's like, this is enjoyment because each thing is different. And we play games with it, like you eat all the green ones first and the red ones next, and then the yellow ones. Crazy, isn't it? They're all the same taste. But the marketers learned decades ago that we like the bright colors and we think it makes it different. Hence, Skittles, gummy bears. Do I need to go on? So, if you're not fun to live with, it could be your food plan. So, just saying. Now, I ordered these online. I saw them in Esquire. They reviewed one. These are jerkies. And I've never been a real fan of jerkies, but I think if they take a long enough time to eat. So they come from jerkiesgourmet.com. And they come from 100% grass-fed beef. Okay? And there's no preservatives, no nitrates, no nitrites, no hormones, no antibiotics, low sodium. And it's not that they're loaded with nutrition necessarily. It's just, and they only have 1 gram of fat. But they're just, I don't know, something I thought I would try. This is the ghost pepper one that I read the review on. And I guess ghost pepper, I then immediately went to Amazon, which is what I usually do. And that's my friend that knows everything. And I guess it's a wicked, wicked, wicked hot seasoning. And so they had more than ghost pepper jerky once you go to Amazon. So I'm interested in that. And then black pepper, whoops, Freudian, black pepper. And I love, of course, black pepper on everything, from cottage cheese to hard-boiled eggs to soft-boiled eggs to veggies and meat and everything else. And so, anyway, I tried these 2 because I could. And because in my food budget, even buying the best of the best with meats and oils and organic produce, grass-fed beef, things like that, and pasture-raised eggs, it's amazing. It's amazing. And the best cheeses you can buy, I'm not spending as much when I used to buy CRAP. It's amazing. Once your kitchen, your pantry is set up and you begin to purchase these things, like the Kerry butter, I've got a load of it in the freezer. I buy the uncured bacon, the pasture-raised Pete and Jerry eggs, Kerrygold butter, things like that. And the good cheeses, raw milk, if available. I look for raw milk first, because after it's been pasteurized, there goes a lot of the fermentation enzymes and things like that. So I do a lot of those sort of things. And I had some extra dinero, and I said, you know what? I'm going to try jerky, because I read the review in Esquire, and I said, this sounds really kind of good. And 1 ounce, just for those of you that count stuff, 1 ounce, this is 3, so this is 3 ounces, has 50 calories, 10 calories from fat, and 9 grams of protein. So talk about a nice little midday kind of treat, and it takes a while to chew, I'm sure. So I'm looking forward to it, because the closest I've ever come to 100% grass-fed beef jerky is Slim Jims in the barroom days, right? That was that was food in the barroom days. Handful of nuts and a Slim Jim, and you're good to go. I'll have another round. So that's my little food find. And that's it. So if you're not fun to live with, it could be your food that's affecting your mood. Add more fat. That's what I always say. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.